Let's talk about 5 Toyota Tacoma mods you can't see but make a difference. Number one is under the hood. Now, technically, you could see it if you had the hood up, and maybe while you're driving around, you're sitting in the engine bay. But otherwise, you can't see it. I'm talking about the intake. You can hear it, but you can't see it. So what does it really do? Well, obviously, it provides some sound, something that I really love in the Toyota Tacoma. You know, I've had different exhausts and stuff. They always ended up sounding droney and driving me insane, honestly. This cold air intake, or intake, it's actually an open air. It's the K&N intake. It's there. You can't see it when you're driving, but you sure can hear it when you're just cruising along. You get that nice kind of background extra sound, a little bit of a throaty sound to it. Not to mention, it looks great under the hood. But as I said, normally you can't see it. Number 2, the screen protector. You know, for a long time, I didn't have any of these on the Tacoma, and like everybody else, I've had fingerprints and scratches and drove me insane. I even hesitated cleaning the screens, particularly the gauge cluster. The gauge cluster scratches almost just by looking at it, but I avoided cleaning it because I knew if I put a rag on there and had any kind of dirt or dust or anything embedded in the rag, which of course you will, that's why you're cleaning it, right? You'll scratch it up. Not to mention fingerprints on the infotainment system. You know, all the new infotainment systems today are touch in one form or another, and the Tacoma's the same way. It's got all these spots you can touch, and every time you touch it, you leave a little bit of that skin oil on there. It's gross to begin with. We're really gross, aren't we, humans? But anyway, you'd leave all kinds of fingerprints and stuff on there. You don't have it with the screen protectors. Love having these things on there. And one added benefit, and this I guess you can see, they kind of add a little bit of a different look to it. You know, it gives it kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's shiny, but not shiny. More of a glossy kind of a look, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Looks awesome on there, and of course, it protects everything underneath as well. Number 3, seat jackers. You know, the Toyota Tacoma, I thought when they went to the 10-way power adjustable seat that I'd be able to get comfortable. But I couldn't. I could never get comfortable because I didn't get any under thigh support. Always felt like it was still pointing way down too far, and the adjustment doesn't allow you to bring the front part of the seat up. Kind of a drag. So what seat jackers do, I only have them in the front part of the seat. You can actually get them for the whole seat, all 4 corners. But I put them in the front so that I could angle the seat up a little bit. That allowed me to utilize the power adjustments to get the seat the way that I want it for proper support underneath my legs. And it's awesome. It's a mod you can't see, one you never should see, I suppose. If you do, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're hanging out in the wheel well, or maybe you're installing one of the next ones I'm going to talk about. But they're awesome. Definitely a must for the truck. I wouldn't be comfortable without them, and man, I might have even considered doing something crazier in lieu of doing the seat jackers. Awesome product to have. Number 4, the tailgate protection system. It's not really much of a system. It's really a hose clamp put around the little nub on the right side of the tailgate to stop thieves from being able to easily take the tailgate off and steal it. You know, it's a big problem out there. Depends on what part of the country you live in. Where I'm at, it's a huge problem. All people have to do is pop the tailgate, kind of angle it down a little bit, tip it up, and then rip the thing off of there. And I say rip it off because it has wires. And they're not gonna do much, I suppose, to protect those wires. Hopefully, if it has to happen, they'll use something and slice them off cleanly so that you can not have a torn up mess under there, right? But I doubt that's gonna happen. They're probably gonna grab the thing and just rip it off of there. You know, you've got a camera in there, most likely, and you're gonna have trouble. This little hose clamp, what does it cost you? 50 cents, maybe $1. You put it on over that little nub on the side, tighten it up with a screwdriver, and then you can't tilt that tailgate and lift it off. You have to remove that hose clamp. Now, there's a lot of people say, well, you know, all they got to do is take the hose clamp off. You should get one of those that lock. Well, how many tools is a thief going to carry with them? You know, it's funny. In talking about protection, underneath the truck, of course, you have catalytic converter. I have the shield from Miller Cat. But people have said, well, all they got to do is have one of those handheld grinders and they can get under there and cut everything off. And I'm like, really? So do you think the thieves are pulling around a tool chest with them? You know, they'll just go to some truck that's easier. And that's kind of the whole purpose of a deterrent, right? If they come to your truck and you've got that hose clamp back there and it's not easy to take off, they probably don't have a whole tool chest with them where they can select which tool would be the best way to defeat your deterrent. It's crazy. Anyway, it's just a simple, cheap little thing to protect the back, and it's another one of these mods to the truck that you don't even see. Lastly, and this is the one where you might be crawling around a little bit in your footwell, and that is the pedal commander. One of the, I would say the #1 mod that you can do to the Toyota Tacoma because of Toyota's love for throttle lag. They set the truck up so that it has throttle lag. If you don't know what that is, that means that when you step on the accelerator, there's a lag before anything happens. It makes the truck feel gutless. What the pedal commander does is eliminate throttle lag so that when you step on the accelerator, the truck goes. It's an awesome product. I wouldn't have a 3rd gen Tacoma without it. I wouldn't have any vehicle that had throttle lag without it. It's just that good. Now, it might be stretching it a little bit that you can't see it. It kind of depends on where you put the control unit. If you mount it somewhere up here on the dash, well then obviously you can see it. I've had mine tucked up underneath the dash, and then I utilize the Bluetooth on the phone to operate it if I want to change the settings. So it can be one that you can't see at all. And I find that with the pedal commander, once you get it set the way that you want it, the way that you like it, I run it on Sport Plus 3, you probably aren't ever going to have to change it again. Although I would say you should just turn it off once in a while. Drive the truck for a little bit, and then you'll have a renewed appreciation at what the pedal commander really does do. Anyway, those are just 5 mods, 5 things that you can add to the Toyota Tacoma that have purpose that you don't even see. Leave a comment. Let me know. What do you have on yours, maybe besides those 5 things that you can't see that really do make a difference on your Toyota Tacoma? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.